A lot happened in my first overseas trip. It was pretty rough, but at least it was memorable. Bye for now, Netopia. I'm sad to leave, but I'm sure I'll be back someday. The plane will be landing in Lectopia soon. I was only gone for a little while, really. But somehow it feels like it's been years. I wonder what everyone's been doing. I can't wait to see everyone again. Ah, home sweet home. Clan, we were waiting for you to get back.
We all heard about your adventures in Netopia.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, Mail. I thought you'd be happiest to see Lan back. Welcome back, Lan.
Hey, why the glum look, Mail?
She's been right sick about you, you big dummy. I was so worried, Lan.
Hey, not so close. Text it, everyone's watching. Hey!
Woohoo! Look at the two lovebirds. I'm never letting you go away again, Lan.
Mail. This is your captain speaking. Our flight is currently on schedule. We've crossed the international date line, which means we'll be arriving at Den City Airport at 7:45 a.m. today. I hope you enjoy the remainder of your flight.
Oh, Mail. I'm your captain speaking.
Huh? Where am I? In the airplane. Where else, sleepyhead? You were talking in your sleep, Lan. Mail. Oh, Mail. Oh, I can't wait to tell everyone. Hey, I didn't say anything, okay? So don't you dare. Just kidding. You awake yet? Yeah, I think. What time is it anyway? 11:30 a.m. It's almost time for lunch. Hey, Lan, let's ask if we can see the cockpit. I'm not so sure they'll just let us in like that. Sure they will. We just have to ask them really nicely. Sure, why not? We can tell everyone later. Oh, very kind of you to speak to me. Here is for you. You get a repair L for doing that, which repairs all of your side of the field. And with that, hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Replay Mega Man Battle Network 2. 440 special is go. In the last part, we went through all of Lan's main story scenario quest in Netopia, saving the net battlers from Nightmare in the process, and now I went to Netopia for a World Bug Symposium. Entomologists from all over the world gathered there, and discussed bugs nonstop. It was pretty interesting. Neat. I'm the famous president of Gauss Incorporated. I'm taking a secret Eclectopia vacation. Normally I'd be riding first class. I've always appreciated this scenario in a couple of regards. For one thing, it's one of the few times I've ever actually seen a character fly on business class to start, and you don't usually see that. Usually when a character goes on a plane, if you see the flight at all, and it's not just like here's a cutscene where we exposit while we're on the flight. Usually they're in first class or on private planes, so I appreciate this weirdly realistic flight. Until we get to first class. I've never seen first class, but I'm fairly certain it doesn't look like this, right?
I love traveling. I used to travel around the world with my grandfather. But now I travel all alone. I have money, but that doesn't buy happiness.
Fair. Oh yeah, first class, baby, feels so good. Because you know I'm number one, baby, know what I'm saying? I guess? Welcome to the cockpit. This plane runs on autopilot, so all we do is monitor the instruments except for takeoff and landings. Excuse me, but would it be possible to see the cockpit? Sure thing, kid. Wow, this is cool. What an awesome view you guys have. Pretty cool, huh? I saw a cockpit once when I was a kid. And that's what made me choose to become a pilot. Wow, it's like your dream came true. Looks like we hit an air pocket. You better go sit down. Yes, sir. Thanks for letting me up here. Come on, Lan, let's get back to the seat. Weirdly intense music for that. Your attention, please. We apologize for the bumpy ride. But it looks like we're through the worst of it. The captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. And it looks like the turbulence is over. It's almost time for lunch. Want to walk around first? Yeah, sure. Alright, let's take a look around more on the plane. You have a couple phases like this where you just kind of have to walk around and talk to specific NPCs and all that. It's kind of a slow scenario on repeat playthroughs, but I still like it a lot. And we can jack into this particular screen for a bug frag, but also a sub-chip dealer in the case you need to buy full energies or whatever while you're here. Call it a hunch, you might need them. But also we can encounter a new virus. This is a Sparkler, the level 2 Sparky enemy. Their attack patterns by and large the same. They kind of just go down the field towards your side in a waving pattern that takes up an entire column one at a time. Except they do more damage and they move faster, which, as someone who's currently an Aqua-type style, we want to nip that in the bud as soon as we can. If you're trying to get every battle chip in a relatively efficient manner, you can get their Satellite 2 chip here. I'd recommend waiting not even like 10 minutes though, honestly, because you're going to be able to get it relatively shortly, much more easily with usually kinder stage layouts, because that TV has a lot of fields that just have permanent holes on them you can't really do much about. Also, there's one particular NPC we want to talk to on this particular section that if you wait too much further into the plot, you're not going to be able to get the item they can give you. Not that it's super essential, we already technically have the battleship in question, but it's a rarer code of it. I may not look it, but I'm a doctor. Natopians call me Dr. Iron Fist. An Iron Fisted Doc. Pretty cool, huh? You don't believe me, do you? Okay, how about this? Silver Fist E Get. I always give this to young patients. I mean, hey, I'll take it, that's pretty good damage. Hey, kid. Did you know this plane has a one-of-a-kind high-power program? Moving on. Looks like the bug guys moved. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. That's so nice. I want to fly first class too. But the Electopian Bug Society doesn't have much money. Lan, it's almost noon. Time for lunch. I guess I'll get back to my seat. Oh, no more. I'm totally stuffed. Wow, Lan, you must have been really hungry. This plane food's a lot better than I expected. This is unrealistic. Never. 10 minutes later. What's wrong, Lan? My stomach hurts. Serves you right for pigging out. To the bathroom. Ugh. I was helping this man with his luggage and a big spider. What kind of spider? Where did it go? It was all black and hairy with fat legs and red eyes. It went running off, but it's probably no big deal. I'm not so sure about that. Ominous? Lan, did you hear them just now? A spider covered with black hair? What if it's poisonous? That would be bad. Real bad. Maybe one of the passengers knows about bugs? Huh, someone who knows about bugs. Gee, I wonder who we're meant to talk to. Let's see, is he back in his seat? Yes, you are. Anything I can help you with, Sonny? I'm looking for someone who knows about bugs. Knows about bugs? Don't insult me. I know so much about bugs they call me the encyclopedia. Well, then, I was wondering, do you know any spiders with fat legs and black hair? Well, spiders aren't insects, but I know a few like that. Did it have any other notable features? Oh yeah, it had really red eyes. Ah, that's an easy one. Lives in Utopia, that one. The red-eyed woolly spider. The red-eyed woolly spider? Yes, it's quite rare, you see. Easily identified by its thick black hair and red eyes. And it's incredibly lethal poison. If a person is bitten, they freeze up in a few hours. Ah! What was that? It came from those seats in the back. Lan, what if... Mega Man, let's go. Right on. Thanks, mister. My pleasure, Sonny. If it's about bugs, I'm your man. If that's the case, we actually might need your help if our fears are correct. Oh, God. Oh, no. What happened? Spider. Oh, no. What should I do? Mega Man, find out if any doctors are on this plane. Roger. Well, we already talked to someone, so we know exactly who to go talk to. We gotta go talk to the guy right behind our buggy friend. An emergency? Where's the patient? By the lavatory? Got it. I need to get ready, so you head over there first. Alright. Just gotta go forward and back and forward and back and forward and back and take one step forward. I found a doctor! That should do the trick. Is he gonna be alright, Doctor? I think so, but he should rest until we reach Electopia. He appears to be in shock from the poison. He was bitten by a spider. A poisonous spider on the plane? Why didn't you tell us? Sorry, sir. You see, we didn't know it was poisonous. Well, no point picking on the stewardess now. First things first, we've got to catch that spider. Except I have to look after this patient. Then I'll go catch the spider. You'll catch the spider. The poisonous spider. No problem. The bug guy can help me find him. Okay, you're on the job, and try to be discreet. If people find out, there's gonna be a mass panic. And panic means lots of injuries, so be careful. I'll be looking after the patient in the back. Good luck, kid. Right on. Alright, so let's go talk to our bug-minded friend and see if he has any advice for us. I'll tell you the truth, sir. What do you mean by the truth, boy? Such and such. What? A red-eyed woolly spider? Shh, not so loud. Oh, sorry. So you want to catch it. Let's set a trap. Round up the materials to make a trap. Well, what kind of trap will you set? It'll be a surprise. Here are the necessary materials. Some kind of a box, a stick, and some string. And some whiskey. Why whiskey? These poison spiders like the smell of expensive whiskey. It smells the pheromones they emit for mating. I got you. Anyway, a box, stick, string, and whiskey coming right up. Once you find everything, come see me again. It's up to you. So, every single item we're looking for, there's by and large one on each of the 5 maps. What is it? Oh, these chopsticks? Well, actually, my husband made them. He and I have been making chopsticks for 45 years now. We have a dream. We want to take our chopsticks abroad and show the world how great they are. We scrimped and saved for the trip, but he passed away. We were always together, but then we had to break apart. Just like a pair of chopsticks. I was very sad when my husband died, but to keep our dream alive, I decided to go to Netopia alone. The Netopians loved my husband's chopsticks. I'm so happy. I'm sorry for rambling on and on. Would you like to hear the story of how we met? Oh, you're busy? I see. Too bad. Would you like some chopsticks? Take as many as you want. There's a stick down. Next up, let's head to arguably one of the more out-of-place moments in the series, in that it's one of the few reasons this game on the first volume Legacy Collection is rated E10+. Yo, kid, sup? What's that? You want some of this whiskey? You just out of the crib, kid. Go suck your mama's milk. What, you still up in my face? Alright, kid, we'll see what's up. You want some of this? It ain't gonna be free. It don't come that easily. You gotta show me what you're made of. I'm gonna sing a tune, dig? You join in. If you keep up with me, you'll get your sip on. You ready to rumble? Hells yeah. Alright, here I goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yo. Chicky chick baby, make me go kaboom. Can you dig it, lady? Oh, my love fire, coming to you soon. Now that's freestyle, kid. Right off the top of my head. Alright, you got it? It's yo turn now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yo. So this is essentially a quiz where you need to both match what he said, but also kind of put your own spin on it. So we need to answer the correct questions 5 in a row. The answers are Chicky Chick Baby, Make Me Go Kaboom, Can You Dig It Lady, Oh My Love Fire, Coming to You Soon. Dang, boy, you got rhythm! Here you go, kid. Yes, give the 11-year-old whiskey. This will surely work out for the best. Unironically, because of portrayals of alcohol in both Volume 1 and 2 of the Legacy Collection, that's one of the main reasons these Legacy Collections are rated E10+. I could probably use this hat if I'm careful. Nobody should notice. Sorry, Captain, I'll bring it back. Other reasons why the 2 Legacy Collections are rated E10 fall down to occasional tobacco portrayals, the odd curse here in BN2 specifically, and the measurements line in BN1. Kinda funny that, in some regards, that it's those minor things that send it up that little bit. You need a rope or something? Let me see. In my pocket, maybe? Got it. Can you use this? It's a thread. And now we have all 4 items, so let's head back to Mr. Bugman. Alright, buddy. Here you go. I got all the materials for the spider trap. Already? Shall we set the trap? By the way, where is the spider anyway? Oh! I'm gonna say over there. A spider just ran to first class. First class, we're off, son. Sounds good to me. Now, thank God both times it's shown up, apparently people have screamed. Everyone, there's a dangerous spider in our midst. We'll catch it, so just follow my lead and please move. What did he say? You serious? Oh my God. Now all we have to do is wait for it. Look, it's here. The red-eyed woolly spider. Come on, just a little closer. Come on. You know you want to get drunk. Get your game on with the whiskey now. We did it! Mission complete. Sorry for the scare, everyone. Thanks for your cooperation. Thank you, sir. Huh? This was a walk in the park. Or first class. We trapped it. Let's go back to our seats. Sure, it's a long way home to Walltopia. And that's what the guy was whispering about being poisonous at the end of the last part, by the way. A few hours after the poison spider incident, attention please. It's 5 a.m. The plane is on course and schedule. On schedule? Sketch. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. What? Land, the plane's shaking. It's not stopping. What's going on? Captain, right wing engine on red alert. Looks like a bug. The terminal's not accepting any data from here. Alert the net battler on board. Actually, he was bitten during the poison spider incident. Lord help us. Ask if there are any net battlers among the passengers. Are there any net battlers on board? If so, please come to the cockpit immediately. Did you hear that, Lan? Something's up. Off to the cockpit. Righto. I don't know if Lan's attracted to trouble or trouble's attracted to Lan. Either way, he's a magnet for trouble in some way. Ah, help! I told you, you never know what can happen in flight. Not the time to be yelling about that, dude. All right, Captain, my Captain, what's up? Captain, I happen to be a city net battler. Oh, you are? A bug broke out in the right wing program. We cannot control the balance, that's why we're shaking so. We're in danger of crashing if we don't respond. Put your faith in us. Mega Man, we're needed in action. Roger that. Jack in, Mega Man, execute! Time for another wall from young me's childhood. Mega Man, search out the right wing program. Gotcha. Ugh. What's up, Mega Man? The magnetic force inside the airplane's incredible. Mega Man, you okay? Fine, but my body's being overwhelmed by the magnetic force. The airplane might also be affected by the magnetic force. But there's no other way. Lan, you handle the routines. I'm on it. Alright, the gimmick with this computer is seen right here. There are going to be several little arcs of magnetism, blue and red. Blue will send you one direction, red sends you the opposite. Which way it is depends on which way they're oriented. If they're oriented diagonally from southwest to northeast, blue generally takes you southwest, red takes you northeast. And if they're oriented diagonally going from northwest to southeast, I believe blue will take you northwest, red will take you southeast. It's a matter of just navigating which ones are around you to get to very specific computers that impact the map around you. Also finding the blue mystery data around here, which there are several. Quite a few around here are actually Zenny. But here we got two new enemies. We got the red UFO and the Magneaker. Both of these are kind of interesting viruses. The Magneaker in the back patrols its column until it gets in the same row as you, in which case it does a dash like the fishies, albeit much more slowly. But it also occasionally fires out its own little bomb that seems to try to aim for where you are when it fires. It's a pretty slow projectile though, but when it lands, it makes a little bit of a black hole effect. That black hole effect can actively stun you, and can stun you for a good while depending on the level. The battleship we just got does the same thing. Red UFOs though, they don't normally attack. Unless you use a battleship and still have one left over, in which case they will charge into you and steal any remaining battleships you have on your person. So aiming for them first is usually a good thing to do. You do want to try and get at least 2 of their battleship around here though if you can. Mega Man actuated the blue demagnetizer. Blue magnetic field was negated. The way this computer works is that each of the sub-areas we need to find computers blue and red to turn off their matching magnetic field, which will allow you to reach more parts of the area. It is a bit of a maze on a first run, but it's overall pretty quick. The right wing program is just beyond here. Alright. As a kid, this area walled me Not because the boss at the end's hard, but just because I found it really hard to navigate. The grass stage chip we just got, by the way, is a bit of an interesting one. It makes it so that the entire row of panels you're on when you use it turns to grass, which if you have a heat style, its charge shot makes a good combo with that. Same with any given fire type navi chip. Megaman actuated the red demagnetizer. The red magnetic field was negated. Also, we just got Satellite 2 a moment ago. It's Satellite 1, but faster and stronger, just like Sparklers are to Sparkies. And in this battle, I believe this is where I get the red UFO's battle chip. You're going to want to Catcher N in particular if you can. From memory, as a battle chip, though, it's not too useful in the main game. It can steal battle chips, but that's more of a multiplayer thing on the whole. I'm also unsure if it works with, say, viruses that have area grab, for instance. Mega Man fixed the bug in the Right Wing program, and the Right Wing program began operating normally. Well, that's a relief. Captain, there's a problem with the piloting program. What? You can't control the rudder? We'll crash. Mega Man, quick, check out the piloting program. Roger. Something that's kind of neat about this area, though, is that you go through the computers in a very unusual order. You start in, like, the first area, but then you go immediately to, like, area 3, then 4, 5, then, I think, 1, 2. It's a little bit different with how you go about it, and I kind of like it for that aspect of it, honestly. Not the biggest fan of this music, though. Something about the, like, alarm blaring nature it has just messes with my ears in a way I don't like. Here we got another new enemy. These are Flappy 2s. Like Flappy 1s, they bounce around the arena pretty willy-nilly and happily until they eventually decide to do their Quake attack on top of you. And their Quake 2 attack, both as their actual attack and as a battle chip, is the same as Quake 1, only when it lands, it also creates an explosion above and below the panel of impact. In one regard, I guess you can look at it as the same thing as just a bomb to a little bomb, where it's one panel versus 3, but the damage is notably better from memory, so it might be worth using if you like the type of combat. I don't for the most part, but it's there. I think I got to use at least one in the program advance somewhere along the line. The tail engine program is just beyond here. The Mr. Programs throughout the various computers here, outside the first two that are supposed to be little tutorials for the main area itself, mostly are there to tell you roughly where your goal is. So when they're nearby, you're getting close to the program you need to turn off, but you need to figure out the way around the magnetic field first. I don't think there's a single area you reach the program in question without turning off the 2 magnetic fields overall. But I'll take more HP memories. We're over the halfway point of those at this point, I think, or at least getting close to it. And here we have another new enemy, Metar 3s. They're Metars, but have 100 HP, and they are incredibly fast and strong. I don't do it myself here, but this might be a good place to try to grind out some of their particular battle chip because it's the best version of Shockwave on the whole. And, well, I've had Shockwaves in my folder the entire game, and I really need to upgrade those, but I haven't yet. Mostly because I've had really bad luck with having Metar 2s or 3s drop them up to this point. But oh well, I'll remedy that sometime in the near future, probably. And here's the blue magnetic field, so now we can go turn on, I guess turn that program off and on again if we're trying to just restart it more than anything. Mega Man fixed the bug in the tail engine program. The tail engine program began operating normally. One down. Those gospel jerks, where are they gonna infect next? Lan, you need to stop talking like that. Things keep happening. What now? The cabin pressure, it's going down and down. What now? The cabin pressure program? At this altitude, if the pressure keeps dropping, everyone will die of altitude sickness. Well, it is getting hard to breathe. Mega Man, the pressure program, and make it fast. Roger. Thankfully, there's no actual time limit here. You could just jack out and go back to the sub-chip dealer in the TV, and you'd be completely fine. Which, honestly, it's pretty easy to take damage in this computer, especially if you have an Aqua-type style, so don't feel bad if you have to do that, especially if you want to get, like, say, some full energies. That there's the barrier battle chip. The way that works is that it prevents you from taking damage from anything once, and then it fades away. The shield styles that we talked about last time, or the part before, 2 parts ago, actually, now I think about it, completely has that by default, which is nice to have. And I honestly do like that battle chip style on the whole, especially in later games. I don't tend to use them too much here in BN2, though, only because I can do more damage than enemies can do damage to me in most cases. Most cases is the key word there, especially with the way my folder currently is. Good amount of Zenny around here. In fact, this is about the point in the game when you're probably going to start getting very often like 500 Zenny if you do well in the battle, and that really can build up pretty quickly to get a lot of the later game things in. Recover 120S, I'll take that. S isn't too bad of a code. And we're already at the next program. Mega Man fixed the bug in the air pressure program. The air pressure program began operating normally. I thought I'd lose my breath. Oh no, the throttle isn't responding. We're losing altitude. 42,000 feet, 41,000 feet, 40,000 feet. And we were so close to Electopia. What happened this time? We're losing altitude at an incredible rate. So you mean we're falling? Mega Man? We're gonna crash. Repair the throttle program ASAP. Roger, ASAP. This is one of the moments where we really start to realize that even though gameplay-wise Land and Mega Man walk at the same speed, in, like, storyline-wise, Mega Man's actually meant to be moving much faster than Land through these areas. The only time it really seems to be one-to-one is more often than not in battle. And that's probably more of just a perception thing, if anything. Free Rock Cube Asterisk, which I don't use too much here in BN2, but it's pretty good in 3 for one particular reason. I'll be showing off when I get to redoing that LP. While the enemies around here are pretty dangerous for me on this particular playthrough, on repeat playthroughs, this scenario, despite the start of it being pretty slow, I really do like this computer because if you just know the route by heart, moving about in it in a very efficient manner just feels great. And whenever Mega Man Battle Network scenarios work like that, I love them. Traffic computer scenario back in BN1 I love. I love this one here. There's one in BN3 sort of like this. There's one in BN5 sort of like this. 6 has one like this. From memory, the one that's kind of lacking one like this is 4, and that's mostly because of a major thing with 4 design-wise that's a little bit different, which is unfortunate, but what are we gonna do at this point, you know? They were really ambitious with 4 in some regards, and it shows. Unfortunately, that ambition kind of was held back by other things. Free Reg Up, I'll take that. We are actually going to get one of my favorite Reg Up chips by the end of this part. Mega Man fixed the bug in the throttle system. The throttle program began operating normally. Oh, we've gained altitude. Are we out of the woods on the crashing crisis? Captain, 5 minutes to Den Airport. Okay, get ready for landing protocols. We're not home yet. Don't let down your guard. Roger. Captain, what's up? The landing gear control program. The gear won't... What? What gear? This isn't a car. The tires, son. Without them, we'll have to belly flop. Belly flop? Land without tires on the stomach of the plane. If we fail, we'll go up in flames. Mega Man, get to the landing gear control program. Or else we're in for the worst. Gotcha. I'm on it. And we're already on the way to the final area for this computer. Battle Network 2 scenarios are interesting in that they tend to average about an hour to an hour and a half long, but because of the makeups of the computer, sometimes more of that hour and a half is the dialogue and just going about as Lan than playing as Mega Man. At least on a repeat playthrough. On a first playthrough, maybe not so much because you're getting lost a little more, but that's the whole thing with replaying games. No, every playthrough after the first one's always going to be different. For now, though, it's time for me to get ourselves our Remobit 1 battle chip. Remobit, I believe, spawns a Twisty on your side of the field, and then the Remobit's gonna just kind of wander randomly across the enemy side of the field, zapping and getting rid of panels, which for boss fights has its uses, I think. Coding-wise, maybe more so with the higher levels from memory of it, but I don't tend to use it too much because I think it's a little too slow for my liking. I do go back for it in a moment, but the area we just left where the overhang to one of the previous areas was, check beneath the southern half of that because there is a bug frag hidden underneath the pathway. It's one of those you can only see really because you can see the data stream bits coming off at the top of it. Just barely if you look closely enough. While I like the bug frags in this game arguably more than any of the other games in the series, if only because there's a set amount of them, I don't need to worry about grinding them out. Hiding them like that at times feels a little dickish, I won't lie. And now it's time for me to get another battle chip. This time I'm going to be getting Quake 2, which, like I said, hits the area of impact and then explodes the panels above and below. Unfortunately, Q code is hard to work with because Q is not a very common code and it's not a very common letter to begin with. Like some of the hardest codes to work with in this game from memory barring use of asterisk codes, are like Q, X, and Z. Which, no shocker there, right? Again, though, there are cases where you might want to go for a higher damage off-code chip, just because their damage is that worth it. There's one very famous case that's used in a lot of speedruns in these games. That might be O-code in some of them. For now, though, it's time for the boss fight, so save on up, and let's see who we got. Gee, I wonder who this is. So you're the criminal behind this incident?
Ah, guess you got me.
Why do such a thing?
Here's a little tidbit for you. I came for the high power program on board this plane.
Already got it. Completion of the Super Navi is soon. Aren't you the chairman of Gauss Incorporated? What are you doing involved in such a thing?
Well, since you asked, when I was young I was raised in a poor family. In a raggedy old shack without much food or money. My brother Jack was taken in by a rich family. After that, my parents got sick and died. I was suddenly all alone. And society didn't lift a finger to help me. I hated people. I detested society. I worked like mad to triumph over society, my enemy. Then I devoted myself to my status. I gained power over others, the authority to direct society. But what I had amassed in life was not what I wanted. What I wanted was a newfound order. Society is rotten to the core. In order to rebuild this fallen society, we need to destroy everything and start anew. Gospel thinks along these same lines. I quickly rose through the ranks and became the leader of the Super Navi Development Project. When the Super Navi is completed, network society will be revolutionized. This will also be my revenge on society. I have been relishing this day for years. When my revenge is over, chaos will come knocking at the world's door, and Gospel will be there to provide order.
We won't let that happen. Mega Man, move into action.
Righto. Magnet Man, delete that meddler for me. As you wish.
Battle routine set.
Execute.
This scenario can be rough with Aqua style to begin with, but Magnet Man's the worst of that because of his pure damage output. On top of that, you have to contend with the magnet panels here that I've kind of neglected to mention the entire area. The way these work is if you're directly above or below one, you get pulled into it. You can be 2 spaces away and you'll be fine, but be careful if you're directly next to one. Attack-wise, he's going to stick entirely in his back row, sending magnets out at the top and bottom of each set, which you can destroy, but the way they work is like a Raton attack. They will move across the row, but the moment they hit the same column as you, they move down in or up into you. He'll send out a tracking orb every here and there, which the way that works is you just kind of need to bait it to a certain direction and then dodge above or below it. I prefer to go low, but you can do either. And when he's on the lower half of his HP or so, he will get an attack known as North-South Tackle, which is he spawns a blue clone behind you and then tackles into you to do like 200 damage normally, I think? But he only does that about in the latter half, and you need to be in the same row as him for him to do it. But as you can see, Gator is still ridiculous.
Mr. Gauss, I'm terribly sorry for your God-blessed gospel. Oh, Magnet Man's been... You ruined my hijack plans.
My hijack plans? You mean you're behind this?
Ah, damn it to hell.
You can't get away with this. I'll catch you.
Hey, stop it. Do you know who I am? Rats.
I've got him. I'll turn him over to the officials. Once we land. Get over here, you. Thanks, sir. The gear program's back to normal. The landing gear's out. Great. Time to land this baby. Thanks, Lan. Back to your seats. Make it snappy. Sure thing. Mega Man, jack out. Sure. Attention, please. And now for a long-awaited arrival. We have reached our destination, Den Airport. Lan, that was a feather in your cap. Yours too, Mega Man. We're back. Let's go home to AC/DC Town. I'm with you. All right, let's get out of this damn plane. I hate flying. Ah, sweet ground, I'll never leave you again. Show me your passport. Here. Yes, you are Lan Hikari. Welcome back. Lan, look! Huh? What? Oh, hey there. Come over here. This way, you.
Forgive me.
Get 'em bones a-walking. Ah. Poor guy. Yeah. Come on, Lan. Let's get back home and catch up with everyone. Yeah, let's tell everyone we're back. Let's not feel bad for the billionaire that just potentially tried to kill us all for the sake of a new world order, okay? I should note, though, Gauss, his brother Jack he talked about that was adopted by a rich family, that's not a one-off character name. That is actively meant to be Electric Jack, a Lekman's operator from Battle Network 1. Kind of a weird connection, but it's neat all the same, I find. Ah, hey Dex, how you doing, buddy?
Yo, Lan, how was it in Netopia? A present? For me? Whoa, it's that Robo-X I've been wanting. Leave it to Lan to get a guy just what he wants. Hey, I'd feel bad if I couldn't give you something too, so here.
And for getting him the Robo-X, you get a Gut Punch D for free, which is pretty good. Now we want to save.
Lan, so to honor your return, I propose a battle between your Mega Man and my Guts Man.
Challenge Dex to a net battle, Lan? Absolutely.
I bought a support chip yesterday just for this battle. Gutsman's gonna mutilate you with his rocket gut punch.
Gutsman is noticeably more aggressive in the V2 fight, because while he still has his shockwave attacks and he can crack your panels and all that, he actively does gain a projectile attack that he shoots his fist out to hit you with. And the trouble with that is if you're stuck on the top and bottom rows after he cracks a row of your panels. If he's not doing that, you don't have to worry too much, but this is a fight you might want to end quickly in the case things go south. Thankfully, let's just have him throw us at himself and give him a nice little headbutt, friendly rivalry and all that, make him stop doing that. Nice and quick. Gutsman's always got like the lowest HP out of any boss too. And that's a free Gutsman V2 for us.
Blast it! How can I lose?
I think if you do too poorly in that, you do just get another Gutsman 1. But I'll take the Gutsman 2. In fact, this is where I start doubling up on some battleships like this. Because now I can have potentially 2 Gut Shoots, which is going to be pretty good, or at least I can get another one out sooner. So we're going to be sticking with that for a little bit here, honestly. Alright, next up, let's give Yai her gift, the brooch we got, the first item from that guy at the end of last part. But first, a bronze statue of Yai's ancestor. He's small but gallant. On close inspection, you find a jack import. We could investigate this all the way back in part 1, but we can't jack into it until right around now. Not that there's much reason to, besides this singular bug frag. There are some viruses you can find in here pretty easily, like Metar 2s and I think Canodum 2s even. So it's not a bad place to grind for their chips. But notably, because this place is meant to be an old statue, most of the virus battles in here have a lot of cracked panels, so be careful of that. My, you're back already? How was your first trip overseas, Lan? What? A present for me? You shouldn't have, you literally asked. But I'm very happy. Here's something little in exchange, it's not much. Yai, you just gave me an extra 20% of my net worth, so that is a lot, honestly. Thank you. And finally, let's go give Mail her gift. 3,000 Zenny for a free 10,000 on the whole, I'd say is pretty worth it. Also notably, we can now jack into Mail's piano. If you had tried to do this earlier in the game, I think its jack import is broken. The earlier BNs do this relatively often, where there's a jack import you can't use until a little later in the plot. For a win here, we get a free HP memory and a free Reg Up 1, and that's pretty good. From memory, you can find Shell Geeks in here. If you want to try to get double needles as a battle chip. I already have those in my library because of the famous folder, but it's good if you want to get specific codes. Welcome back, Lan. I heard you were busy in Netopia. Nice going. A present? Wow, it's so pretty. I've always wanted a ring like this. Thank you, Lan. Here, something from me in return. And for doing this, you get a Recover 150. P code, so it's a little hard to work with unless you just want to use it as a one-off chip. But still, that's a good amount of HP. And that's about all we're doing for plot progress today. The next 20 minutes or so, is me buying unlockers and then doing side stuff. We're going to be clearing up the request board because some more requests have been added over here in Marine Harbor and doing other things. First off, detective job. Looking for someone. If you can help, come to AC/DC Town. I'm waiting in front of the squirrel in the park. Accept this job? Sure. Alright, let's head over back to AC/DC Town for the park and see who we're about to meet here. I posted the requests. I sent you to help, huh? Wait a second, he might not notice a kid. Okay, first I want you to check out this picture. Take a good look at his face now. I want you to find him. If you do, ask him what he's doing. When you're done, come back here and report to me. So we need to look for a relatively generic NPC here, and they don't give us any real good hints on where to go. So I'm just going to tell you, we need to do an Okadin Valley backtrack. In specific, we need to go even further than usual. We need to come all the way here to the actual dam, not just the campsite. Also, if you want to, you can jack into the detonators here from the Quick Man scenario. I've already cleaned them up, but if you need to do anything there, you can. Also, Chad's here. My first leave in ages. Try not to bother me. I'm good. Is that a streaky yellow seat down your back? Shut up. What am I doing? Just sightseeing. Why are you asking, kid? I'm not a bad guy, just a foreign tourist, you know? Hey, just go home quietly for your own good. That's the man in question, so now that we've talked to him, we can go talk to our client, and that'll be the request over just like that. Kind of a fast one, but this set in general is honestly kind of quick in a lot of regards. Well, my boy, you find out where he is? He's a wanted man, you know, a dangerous criminal. I'll inform the police right away. Thank you for helping us catch him. Here's your reward now. Get a Twister? Why for that? Actually, I'm a detective. Sorry to keep it secret, huh? Twister is what the wood-type style changes charge shot is, which is pretty good on its own, but the Y code's a little awkward. Sell me a chip. I'm leaving the country on a trip and need a strong chip. Can someone sell me a catcher N? I'll pay in cash. I'm waiting at Den Airport. This is why I said you should get a catcher N while you're in the airplane con. Because I don't think you can go back into that until the start of the next scenario to get one if you need to. So do that then, and we can go over there and give it to him. At least I think you can't enter the plane again until after this. I honestly don't think I've tried to do it this early in most cases. Because if I need to do anything on the internet, since we have the ONBA code now, we can access the Natopia net no problem. So, Thankfully our client's pretty early into, he's right here. Hi there, well, you taking my request? What it is I want you to give me catcher N. I'm a seeming like foreigner, but I like Topia born. So I go abroad for the first time ever in my life. You know they say how violent it's in other countries? I'm not fighter, but I'm terrible at virus busting. That's why I'm making this request. So will you give me catcher N? Not for free, of course. I will gladly compensate you. What are you saying? Sure. You're giving it to me? You can't get it back. Haha, thanks. Thanks so very much. And here's your fee taking it. 50,000 zenny. For that singular chip, that's a pretty good upgrade. Help reconcile us. My navvy ran away because we argued the day before last. Can somebody please find my navvy? I'm waiting at the AC/DC town station. Please help. Accept this job? This is actually one of the few from memory that you actively accept and talk to the person in a station. For the usual amounts of them, they're usually just somewhere else in the area. Additionally, this side quest allows us to take advantage of a certain item we got a few parts back that I haven't talked about yet, so this can be nice and convenient. You're here to do my request? You're my age. Wow. Well, here's the problem. My navvy's run away from home. You said about as much in the posting. We got into a fight, and I said something really mean. I think that's why he... Can you find my navvy for me? I'm pretty sure he's somewhere on the net. He has an A license, so he might have got as far as Yumland? He's purple, and he's a little delicate. Thanks. Well, he knows his navvy pretty well despite the fight, because he is, in fact, in the Yumland net. But in specific, he's at Yum Square. And you can hoof it all the way over there. Get through about, I think that's like, what, 4 internet areas to get there? Or we can use the key data we got from the lady who we got note data from during the change.batch search, allowing us to activate this teleport straight to Yum Square. The key datas throughout the game are essentially fast travel points to various net squares throughout the internet. They are extremely useful. By and large, every battle network moving forward has some form of fast travel like this that makes the already better designed internets even easier to travel through, and I love them for this. Man, BN1's internet's hard to go back to in several ways. He makes me do everything for him. He should do his own homework once in a while. Are you the Navi who got into an argument with his operator? Do you know my operator? He's looking for me. He wants to make up? Huh, I'm not giving in that easily. This is all his fault. Having said that, I should forgive him since he came looking for me. But I'm gonna stay here for a while. He relies on me too much, so I should give myself a break, you know? It'll be good learning experience for him anyway. Will you tell him that I'm not gonna be back for a while? Alright. Nice and easy, we can now go talk to the client and finish the quest. You really found him? You had to go all the way to Yumland. Wow, thank you. What? He's not coming home for a while. I see. I guess I need some time to think too. Then I can apologize to him and make up for what I said. Here, this is your reward. Thanks. And for that, we get a pretty fast HP memory. One more quest to go, and then we're good on this set for the board. With that said, we still have a lot of other side things I want to do. Fight crime. Recently, a nasty Navi's been making trouble. He picks fight with ordinary Navis and even uses viruses. Now he's after me, so I'm on the run. Can you do something about this? I'm waiting in a telephone in some house somewhere. So that might sound kind of daunting to search for at first, because a lot of houses have telephones visually, but only one's had one we can actively jack into. Namely, we need to head back to Yai's house, because her room has one of the only telephones that has internet access for some reason at this point. And from there, I think they're in the southeastern corner from memory. I edited this footage about 3 days ago, so I might be wrong on that. I recommend saving before talking to them, by the way. Call it a hunch. Yes, you made it right on time. I called you. This is the bad Navi. Please, do something. Alrighty. What? I don't care who you are, Blueface. Come on, let's go. Fight me. This fight can be kind of rough because we got two new enemies here, Shrimpy 3s and Poppers. Shrimpy 3s are very fast and powerful. They only stay in their column, yes, but now their bubbler attack hits the panel you hit as well as the ones in the inter-card mills from you. So if they hit certain projectiles or certain obstacles like rock cubes or rocks, dodging them can be kind of annoying. Poppers, on the other hand, aren't too annoying on their own, but with other viruses they can be. The way they work is that they're invincible for most of the time they're on screen unless they're actively down on the ground and attacking you, in which case they send a wood tower after you that tracks onto your location actively. With that said, if you have more than one popper in a battle, as rare as that is from memory in this one, they have to alternate attacks. They won't both attack you at once. Just keep in mind which one's which, and keep yourself on your toes, and this won't be too bad. Again, just be careful of the Shrimpy 3's damage in specific. Also, if you're a heat style or an elect style, this fight can be especially rough just because of the potential damage from the doubling going on there. But since I am an aqua style, don't need to worry about that nearly as much. Same if you're a wood style at that point. Great job, you saved me. I've had trouble handling the bad Navis around here. This used to be the Navi you beats, but I'll give it to you. Am I being cheap? No, you are not. What we just got is the Gospel Code. This allows us to unlock several security cubes throughout the internet you may have investigated thus far, that I think even state you need the Gospel Code to open it. And what we're going to be doing for a lot of the rest of this part is opening those. Welcome Homeland, it's good to see you after such a long trip. Have you told your friends you're home? They were worried. Go tell them when you're back and then come home and go to bed. You must be exhausted. Oh, trust me I am, but I got stuff to do, mother. So, we're going to be doing a lot of jump cutting here, because these are located all over the internet. Like, there's one here in ACDC 1, but then there's some in Netopia area, there's one in Yum area, there's one over in Kodo area. We're going to be going all over the place. And we're also going to be opening a lot of Purple Mystery Nez. This is why I maxed out my unlockers. So yeah, about that guy not being cheap, that free Gospel Code just got us 30,000 zennies, so we're already very much in the positive. Thank you. I recommend saving, by the way, in case you've already fought Quickman V2, because anytime you enter Kodo area like we are here, it's a danger. With our current layout with having Gator around, Quickman V3 is not as bad, but I'm still gonna want to wait to tackle him until I have more HP, essentially. Behind this Gospel Code gate, we got Ice Stage I. That turns every single panel in the battlefield into ice panels. which we haven't seen yet. You and viruses actively slip and slide on them unless you're Aqua Elemental. So if you step once, you'll slide to the end of the hallway, essentially, so to speak. But every virus who's standing on an ice panel takes double damage from Elect-type damage, and that stacks with Aqua-type virus's weakness to Elect to begin with, so you can do 4 times damage pretty quickly with that. And while we're here, I might as well clean out the stores here a little bit. Namely, I want to pick up the power-up here that I haven't yet. I think I also grab the HP memories as well as Fireblade and Fire plus 40 just to get those added to my library for now. Fire plus 40 can be pretty useful with certain chips because that just boosts the fire damage of anything by 40. But while we're here, I also want to take advantage of the bug frag store here since I have plenty of bug frags to use up. Can get a couple of notable things. Recover 80 asterisk, which is pretty good. Attack plus 30, which is going to replace one of my attack plus 10s. Air Shoes is an interesting chip. This became a passive in some form in a different way, starting in BN3 Beyond. But if you use Air Shoes, you can then stand on any panel without suffering its effects. So you won't, say, slip on ice panels. You won't take damage from fire panels. You won't get healed on grass panels, I think, if you're a grass-type style change. But most importantly, you can walk over broken or empty tiles, which is incredibly useful in certain fights. For now, it's time for us to finally actually access Netopia 1. The area we accessed from Raoul's stereo was actually Netopia 2. And there's a couple of mystery data we're going to be picking up here to begin with, but now that we're past the main part of the Netopia section of the plot, there's also a fight we can do around here now, because this is where we can encounter Nightman V2. Also, getting the gospel code is pretty helpful around here because it completely allows you to just skip part of the level design. The gospel code pays off in spades very quickly. Next thing we're going to unlock is this mystery data, which is a very interesting one. This contains the battle chip Prism. Prism's interesting in that it's sort of a bomb-type weapon you throw and then it lands down on the ground and stays there. And anything you hit with it, its damage gets spread to the surrounding 8 tiles. There is a notable exploit that was unintended by the devs in the Japanese version of the game, where if you use that and Tree Bomb in combo, you can basically kill anything in seconds. It is even faster than Gator in that regard, and it's absurd. That was patched in the localized versions of the games, though. But they kept it intact for the Japanese portions of Mega Man Battle.exe Collection, so use that if you want to. It's kind of funny. With that said, Nightman V2, stronger, faster, blah, blah, blah. Not too much changes in this fight, because the main changes, I think, with this fight's pattern come in on the later fight. Although I think, actually, I was wrong with the fight last time. When he does his mace in the air attack and causes things to rain down, I think it does it only once on the first fight, twice on the second fight, and then 3 times in the V3 fight. So I may have been a little wrong on that, I actually can't remember. There's points in this series where I sort of get just blended memories because so much between these games is the same, but so much is different that it just kind of blends together after a while. I could recommend coming into this fight a little bit later after we do a little more exploring still, but I can do it now if only because I'm comfortable enough with what I know I can do. Though I really do need to do some updates to my folder, particularly getting rid of the shockwaves at some point. Or at least getting different R-coded chips in there, because that's why I picked up the Blade chip and the Fire Plus 40. I'm trying to make different R codes in my folder besides the shockwaves. I'm going to try and keep the roll chip in there eventually, I think, but that's more talking long-term goals. I have more pertinent short-term goals we're going to be getting done before the end of this part even. Also, seeing Gate Man reminds me, you may have noticed during the Magnet Man fight alongside the Guts Man fight, your damage can outpace the scrolling speed of a depleting HP bar of an enemy. Despite what the animation looks like, they don't have, say, like, rolling HP from the Earthbound games, where they have a chance to kill you before their HP counts down. The moment their HP is calculated to have hit 0, they die. And there's Nightman K. If memory serves, that spawns Nightman either in front of you or on your panel, and he spins his mace around himself to do damage. I think there's a chip like this in a later game that can do break damage, so hit through stone body, and it might be able to here, but I think I'm thinking of a chip from later in the series that works pretty similarly. Now, we actually have something to do in more or less every single one of the Netopia areas, so we're not going to be speeding any of this up. We're cutting past most of it. In particular, there's actually a blue mystery data I forgot to grab last part when we were here, which, whoops. Thankfully, I needed to come back here anyway, because there's also a gospel cube we can open here. Alright, instead of breaking towards the northwest to go towards the square, we want to come down here, and here's the blue mystery data I missed, and, well, bug frags are important, so glad I grabbed that now. And the gospel cube is also on the way to the square. When we get to underneath this next section, we just want to break towards the bottom left of the map, and we'll see it pretty quickly. There it is. And this is another one that's really good to do, because beyond here is a blue mystery data containing 30,000 zenny. So even not counting the zenny we've gained along the way walking around here, which is probably a good couple of thousand already, we've gotten 60,000 zenny for doing that side quest to get the gospel cube. So yeah, that's pretty good. And we're going to be using a lot of it even by the end of the part. Because while my next destination is technically somewhere in Netopia 3, I do want to come over here to the Netopia Square and pick up some things. Namely, I want to pick up the HP memories. And I consider buying some other things. I think I might accidentally also buy the repair asterisk. No, I don't. Good. Because I do actually have like a Word document where I'm like noting which chips I've gotten and which ones and which enemies I've fought and all that jazz. And by this point, I had noted down that I got the repair back in the other area earlier today, so I'm glad I didn't buy that. So we came here to Netopia 3 for the plot and for the HP memory last time, but now I want to come up this way and follow this ramp for this pathway, because first off there's a purple mystery data here which we're going to unlock. Within it is Cannonball. Cannonball is notably a returning chip from Battle Network 1. It's the howitzer chip that the Hardheads had back then. And it's essentially just a stronger Wrecker. I think Wrecker does 80 damage, whereas Cannonball does 150. It's a bomb you throw forward and it breaks the third square, which... it's fine. I think I like some of the other bomb types better, but it's good. It does some decent damage for what it is. Being an asterisk code, might as well throw it in there in case you have like a mini bomb still in your folder. I think I've gotten rid of mine by now, maybe? Also, this is Miss Million's computer. This is where I could have jacked into from her purse to access different parts of Netopia earlier. And also, I hadn't used that power-up I got a few moments ago yet, so I might as well max out my attack now. The only way that I can get higher is either by using a Guts-type style change or a certain other thing in postgame. This area can be a little dangerous if you're particularly an Elect-type style change, because every battle here has got grass panels. You got some Can Devils, you got Shell Nerds here, which are the upgraded Shell Geeks. They throw out, I think, 3 needles when they attack instead of 2. And that is also their battle chip, which can be pretty good, especially against Fire-type viruses. I think you can also run into the Mushies here, in case you didn't grab their chip back at the mother computer, but I'm good on that front. With that said, for later game purposes, Miss Million's PC is a very good jack-in point to access a lot of the post-game areas, so you might be seeing this area a lot later on in the game, depending on your choices. But you may have noticed there's also an area transition just nearby her computer. This takes you to the end of Yumland 2. And there's a gospel cube here, so we might as well open that up. And as I have in lockers, I'm going to open up a nearby purple mystery data. Just be careful in the case you have lower powered folders, because you can very easily at this point run into Quick Command V3 if you already ran into Quick Command V2. Within this is a battle chip I basically have never used. This is Geyser. And part of the reason I seldom use it is its description's kinda deceptive, honestly. Hi, Mega Man. What a coincidence running into you here. Yumland's nice and quiet. I love it here. Nice to see you roll. Been a little bit. So the description for Geyser, I remember, is like, spurts Geyser up 3 panels away or something like that. What the attack animation is Mega Man throws a bomb, and then it hits the ground, and it poofs, nothing happens. It's because Geyser needs to actively land in a hole, often open through the things like Cannonball. And if you do that and it hits a hole, a Geyser spurts out of that hole and I think damages all nearby panels for like 200 damage. So it can be really good. I'm not using it though. Now we're going a little bit out of sequence though. This is the Undernet. No longer is it the same as the rest of the internet like it was back in BN1. It now has a very ominous theme and visual style, and is home to more or less all of the strongest viruses in the main story. This place is painful. You're gonna die a lot here, basically no matter what on your first playthrough. Because viruses have a lot of HP, they are fast, and they do a lot of damage. On top of that, a lot of battles in this area have ice panels, so you're gonna be slipping and sliding. We are gonna be coming here eventually in the main story relatively soon, honestly, but I'm coming here now to grab some pretty good items. Also, that was a Deathfire. I think that's the highest level of the Meteor Fire line from memory. They rain down a lot of meteors and they do a lot of damage, but they die pretty quickly to my current setup. Reg up one over there, but the main reason I'm here is actively here in Undernet 1. Actually, there's two reasons I'm technically here. Undernet 1 and Undernet 2 have those in specific. Here we got another new virus, Cloudy 2. I was actually wrong about how the Cloudies attack last time, by the way. They don't jump up and down in the same place. I'm thinking of an enemy from a different game that does a very similar attack. They'll bounce all over the field and then shoot a cloud that goes up and down the column you're on. And as you can see, paired with Shrimpy 3s, I'm in danger. It is very common in early game or even during main story visits here to just take a lot of damage and have to rely on the end of battle healing you get from some battles randomly in this game. Because otherwise, you just take so much damage so quickly. At least you get some pretty good healing out of it. So the reason I want to be here in Undernet 1 is that there is a net dealer here. And they have a chip I really want. Full custom. And while I'm here, I think I also grab Elect Blade and Attack plus 20. Grab Revenge is also good, but I'm going to hold on for that because that's expensive. So, Full Custom. What Full Custom does is that the moment you use it, the custom gauge fills up. Which sounds a little weird to use, yeah? But if you stack all three of them and make one your regular chip, it makes it super efficient for getting rid of trash chips out of your folder to get to program advances. You can go through 3 custom screens in that case, potentially before even the 3-second mark in a battle. So boss fights just get absurdly efficient by doing this. I love it. There is one other chip I'd prefer to make my regular chip in the long run, but we're not going to be seeing that for a little bit still. For now, though, we got Flappy 3s. They're Flappy 2s instead. Now when they land on the ground, the explosion around them is a plus-shaped radius, so if you're in their perpendicular panels, period, you're taking the extra damage. With that said, they're faster, but they're still pretty predictable and easy to manipulate into certain positions, so you don't need to worry too much about them. But here's the thing. The video is about to end, but I'm not going back to plot until relatively early next part, because I still want to go into further areas of the Undernet. Because there's a Navi chip I want to grab, and also I want to hit up another net dealer in here to buy some more stuff. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 7, which will be, I believe, the 350 sub special? Very belated, but we're catching up, we're gonna be doing just that, and avoiding whatever dangers might lurk in the early portions of the Undernet, and its bitrate killer of a background, although there's much worse Undernets in the series that do that. See you guys then.